Everyone on YouTube is teaching you how to be a good public speaker, how to build confidence, how to get not nervous on the internet or probably on a stage. But the truth is, nobody really talks about what is a real public speaking, what make a speech good, and what is even a good speech. So let me ask you a question. If you really don't know what a really good public speaking looks like, what is a great speech, then all the tips and tricks that you see on the internet does not even make a flinch, because you don't have the clarity of the basics, so you cannot ever go on an advanced level. And this is not even just about public speaking, it's about any other skill. If you don't know the basic of coding, you cannot form a website. Same way, when you are not sure about the basic of public speaking, what it looks like and what is the good speech, then probably you can never be the one who is the fearless on the stage. So this series and this video is all about mastering public speaking. I trust you and I tell you that this series is going to be the best YouTube series about public speaking ever on YouTube. And when I say ever on YouTube, I'll make sure I over deliver my work and never under deliver it. So this is my promise to you, and let's go and let's dive into the video. Every time when I say the word public speaking, something big picture comes into your mind. Let's say 1,000 of crowd, 1,000 of cameramen, 1,000 of lightings, probably a mic and a great legend and a big stage. But what if I told you it's nothing like that? Public speaking is not really about that. Public speaking is also included in the little practice you see every single day. So it's probably when you answer your question asked by your teacher in your classroom, or probably when you go to a wedding and give a speech, or sometimes even when you sit in your friend group and trying to dominate them. It's also that. Now, in general, now, when I say the good speech, something that comes in your mind is probably the smartest speech, the speech with the finest word or deliver with the finest category of public speaker. That's exactly not what it is. So before we deep dive into the video, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is me, Aditi Ranjan, and I make content around public speaking, debating, diplomacy, conference, travel and podcast as well. So do make sure to follow and subscribe to this channel, because I'm sure you will love it out here. And along with loving, you will really learn a lot from here, and I can guarantee you that. Along with this series, we are also hosting 30 minutes in 30 days about public speaking, and I'm pretty sure that you will love it out there as well. So do make sure to watch it and tell me your views on it as well. So over a few minutes, I'm going to tell you what I call the 4 pillars of public speaking, which is really basic, and probably any one of you know it, but still you choose to ignore it, and even great legends sometimes ignore it. But I'll tell you, if you really want to be the greatest public speaker or somebody who you would remember, then you of course has to follow these rules. So talking about the 4 pillars of public speaking. Purpose. So talking about purpose is very simple. Every speech has a why factor in them. So why factor is, why are you speaking that speech? Why are you there? So are you there to inspire somebody? Are you there to improve somebody? Are you there to teach? Are you there to entertain? There's so many other factors that include a why factor. Like, why exactly do you want to say that speech or that conversation, where you want to hold it in general? If you don't know yourself, the purpose of your speech, then definitely your audience is not gonna ever understand it. So make sure that you always understand your purpose behind your speech. So think about it as, when you go to a debate, your motive is to let your judge feel that your points are more valuable than the other or the opponent. Or even, let me give you a very basic example that you will understand really well. So when you want to go out with your friends, so you want to convince your parents, so you will of course say something that will convince your parents to let you go out. So what is the purpose of that talk? That you want to convince them. That's exactly everything. So it's just like, if everybody forgets everything, that is the reason why you're speaking it. That's exactly the purpose, and it's very simple. Don't take it really complex. So now talking about the second thing, the message. So message is really simple. If I take away all the slides, all the animations, all the editing from your speech, and let's say people have only one sentence to remember, what would be that? So message is really clear. that even if people forget everything, when your speech is over, nobody's gonna remember all the 2000 words you have said, but they will remember only one statement, what it would be. And that is exactly the message of your speech. So let me tell you, when you go to probably a wedding, a Christian wedding, of course, because in Indian wedding we don't have this culture. But when you go to a Christian wedding, everybody stands up and gives their speeches, right? So everybody will have a different perspective of speeches, but the main lesson or like the main message of everybody's speech is just same, that we appreciate this couple is really lovely, and we wish them all the best luck for their future life. This is exactly the message, right? Or let's say when somebody from your friends group fail in a subject, you will tell him 1,000 or her 1,000 different words, but what is the main motive of your speech on that day? That don't be demotivated from failing in the examination, because it's totally all right? So that is the message of your speech. Thing, the structure. The structure is a really important part of a speech, because it really gives them a backbone. So let's say our body, we have muscles, we have skin, we have organs, but we have bones that give it a structure, and why we look like a human and not like probably an algae. So that is exactly what a structure in a speech does. It gives it the structure, the framework of how it stands. So we all have that one friend in our friends group that is like, whenever we have a huge conversation, they'll be like, okay, we go first point, second point, third point, and fourth point. And sometimes you wonder that their points are really very clear because they have structured it. Suppose you set up recording an audio and you like think in the middle, okay, what was I even talking about? Because it has happened with me a lot. Whenever I start to say something, I just forgot that what I'm saying about it, like what I'm actually talking about. But if you talk about structure, when you think of it like a structure, you will of course have a clarity of what to speak. And a basic structure looks like a opening hook. So opening hook hooks your audience, what exactly grab their attention. Then you have your main body, where we have 3 to 5 points explaining whatever topic you're talking about. And then we have a memorable close, because close is really important, because your audience have listened to your 2500 word speech, but they want to really summarize it up. So in the closing, you mostly summarize your speech and give them probably an action to do, or give them a judgment, or probably something like that. That is a memorable close, and this is a very basic structure that you have to follow in all your speeches, and probably on all in your debate speeches, all in your MUN speeches as well. And this will tell you, this seems very easy and this seems very normal, but not a lot of people follow it. And if you start like following these structures and these pillars, you will of course see the difference in the speeches you write, and probably it will be the best speech you have ever written by yourself. So do make sure to try it out, and also share it with me on Instagram. Probably put a story, and I love to see what you have written. Now talking about the fourth and the most important part is the delivery. And most of the audience you see on YouTube, or the teachers on YouTube, also focuses on here, but also other three are really important. So this already include how to be confident in stage, what should be your tone, what should be your voice, what should be your expression, should you move around or should you stay at a single place. All of this comes into the delivery, and delivery is really important because this makes your speech felt. So until this, all the three processes are the one that is just making your speech a piece of paper. But when you give it a good delivery, it makes it alive. So people can feel it now. And when you have heard ever a good speaker, a great speaker, they definitely know how to cover their audience, how to hook their audience. Not just talking about the quality of content they have written, but the quality, how they speak, how do they manage their voice, how do they look into the audience, what expression they give, how much area do they cover, what type of hand reaction they do give. These all are the factors of delivery, and we'll talk about each of them really detailed in the upcoming series. Don't worry about it. This is just a basic example of what delivery looks like. So I'll tell you, no audience fall for perfection. Everybody fall for authenticity, and you have to generate it anyhow if you want to excel as a public speaker. And if you don't want to excel as a public speaker, even if you're watching it for a job interview, or probably for a meeting, or probably for a speech event tomorrow, all of these are very required. And I'll give you the best example of delivery. So let's say you have the same story to tell to three different people. One is your best friend, one is your teacher, and one is your cousin. So let's say your cousin is probably 5 years old and you have to tell him or her the story. So when you talk to your best friend, you will obviously be very funny, you will be dramatic, and probably you will be laughing like hell, and these are the situations and these are the like expression that you will give. Now when you're talking the same story and when you're like telling the same story to your teacher, you will be really calm, you will be try to be professional, you will try to be strict and maintain a formal tone. That is what your expression tones look like. But let's say you are explaining the same story to a 5-year-old kid, so you will of course try to make it really funny, interesting, and probably you will jump into the character and act like them for a child. So these are all the structure of like the different type of deliveries we use, and this is very common. You must have seen this in your life ever and ever again. And I'll tell you, public speaking again a skill, and anybody can learn it and anybody can master it. It's just up to the practice you make on it and how much time do you spend improving it day by day. So these are the 4 pillars of public speaking. And now why is this 4 pillar actually mattering to you, or why should you really focus on it? So everybody really focus on polishing the stuff. So let's say they'll try to tell you what is confidence look like and how to manage your stage fear and stuff like that. But what if I told you that everything that you see on the internet is probably just like polishing a car which has no engine? No. Public speaking starts to improve when you work inside to out. It's not about how well you do on the outside when you have no clarity on the inside. It's more about how much clarity you have on the inside. Foundation is really strong, you will of course have a great building. So let's say you are building a building and you want to make it the strongest, so you will of course work on the foundation. You will not start it with the upright thing and you will start building the whole thing. No, you will start working on the foundation, and that is what exactly we do right here in this series and in this video particularly. And I tell you, this series is gonna be one of the best series, as I mentioned, on YouTube, because I have worked a lot on this and I have searched each and every YouTube video about the particular video. So this video is not just going to be what I have learned from public speaking and what I want to teach. It's all about the combination of all other YouTube videos in the best way possible I can deliver it. So before I end this video, I definitely have an exercise for you, and this is a type of homework that you can take from here. So do make sure to record a 1-minute video of yourself. Of course, you do not need to be a really put it somewhere on Instagram or YouTube. Just keep it to yourself. Tell us, what do you do, who are you, what excites you most about public speaking, and what you really want to learn from this series, and how do you want to learn from it as well. Along with that, tell us what make you fear public speaking and what exactly made you clear on this video. Like click on this video, not clear on this video. And I'll tell you, by end of this series, I'll try to make you the best public speaker how much you can be. And along with that, when you rewatch this video, I'm sure that you will have definitely a lot of improvement, and I can guarantee that. So do make sure to record it, and if you're comfortable, you can post it on Instagram as well, and do make sure to tag me. But here is the end of this first video, and in the next video we are going to talk about something really important. So do make sure to watch that as well. And thank you so much for watching this video, and do make sure to subscribe to this channel, because I'm sure you will love it out here, and as I said, you will learn from here. So thank you so much for watching.